Welcome back, everybody. I'm Chad Ferguson, filling in this week for your host, Barry Stokes, and that means one thing. It's catfish time again on Let's Fish TV. My name is Chad Ferguson. I own and operate North Texas Catfish Guide Service and a company called Catfish Edge. I offer guided fishing trips all over the North Texas region, and then Catfish Edge is a website dedicated to helping catfish anglers learn how to catch more and bigger catfish when they're out on the water. I'm on Lake Whitney today in north central Texas, heading out to catch some summertime channel catfish. It's hot outside, the water's warming up, and the catfish are really moving, and I think they're really gonna be stacked up in this shallow water and really heavy cover. So I'm expecting that we're gonna be able to go out and whack them and stack them and catch a ton of fish. Hey everyone, so I've got the boat out in the water. I'm heading out on Lake Whitney in the northern part of central Texas to see if I can catch some summertime channel catfish today. Temperatures are hot, been over 90 degrees every day. The water has really warmed up here in Texas. We're pushing 81, 82 degrees, but the channel catfish should be on fire. This lake has lots of them and they're fun to catch. So I'm gonna get out, see if I can find some fish. Let's catch a quick commercial break while I do that. So I've just pulled up in these flooded willow trees. It's really, really shallow here. It's about 2 feet, inch or foot and a half, somewhere around there. It kind of varies depending on where you are. And I'm fishing up around these flooded trees. When water is high like this and you've got 1, 2, 3 feet of water, up around these flooded willow trees like this, they hold all sorts of insects, usually have a lot of roosting birds around them, just kind of a haven for a good food source for channel catfish and some blue catfish too at times, but this time of year I'm expecting to catch channel catfish. And they also, you know, it provides real good cover for them. They can get up around this timber and everything and feel safe. And it also provides a lot of shade as well. It's pretty hot outside today. It's almost up to 90 right now and the sun's just, there we go. That didn't take long at all. Did not take long at all. That's a lot of fun too. Lot of fun. We have here in Texas, we have a ton of channel catfish, but they don't get real big here in most of our lakes. There are a handful of lakes that have some pretty good sized channel catfish, but it's not like, you know, some parts of the country where you'll go where, you know, 10 and 15 pound channel catfish are really common. But these fish like this, you can catch these all day long. When you really find them and they're really biting good, it's nothing to catch 100, 150 fish in the morning. Great way to catch a lot of fish, have a lot of fun. So I'm gonna get this one put back in the water and see if I can catch another. Get it back out there, see if I can hook another one. So when I was talking about precision fishing, a lot of people think about catfishing, they think about just throwing a bait out there in the water and just waiting for old catfish to come along and grab the bait. And when you're fishing like this, up in this heavy cover, and just fishing for channel catfish in general, my experience has been, there's a lot of times where you just throw the bait in the water and they come along and they'll bite. But there's a lot of times where you have to be really precise. You have to fish really thorough. It's almost like bass fishing where, you know, you're trying to cover the structure, you're trying to cover the timber, the docks, whatever you're fishing. Sometimes these fish, when you're up in this really tight cover like this, they can be really sensitive to, there we go, to location. And you have to really fish. That's a good channel catfish. You have to really fish thoroughly, where a lot of people, they think about catfishing and, you know, they think about just throwing a bait out there in the water and waiting for a catfish to come along. But that's not how this kind of fishing is. That's a good channel catfish right there. Let me get him back in the water, see if I can get another one. Just one right after another, man. As fast as you can get that bait in the water, all good quality fish. Going right back up there again. I'm already getting bit. It hadn't been in the water 3 seconds. There we go. Uh-oh, that one's running on me. Another good quality fish. Just one right after another, man. As fast as you can get that bait in the water, they're biting, and all good quality fish. You're probably not going to catch any 40, 50, 60 pound catfish fishing like this, but if you want to get out, have a jam-packed day of action, this is a great option. Channel catfish are great to eat. A lot of fun to catch a few, keep a few for the table. Let me put this one back in the water here. So this bait that I'm fishing with is it's called punch bait. That's a generic term for the type of bait, and it gets its name by the process that you use to bait a hook. It sticks to a plain treble hook. You don't have to have a sponge or a tube or a worm or anything like that. And you just punch the hook down into the bait with a stick or screwdriver and then pull it back out, and it sticks to the hook. And it is deadly for catching channel catfish. I'm using CJs today. If they won't bite on punch bait, they're not going to bite. As long as you get a good quality bait that's going to stick to that hook, you'll be able to catch channel catfish like this. If you watch what I'm doing here, you know, fishing up in this heavy cover like this, I'm not casting. This is a real lightweight rig. There's not a lot of weight to it, so it's hard to cast accurately. I'm almost just like flipping. So I'm just letting some line out, taking the slack up here in my left hand, just kind of plopping it out there in the water so I can get it right in that precise place. Here we go, here we go. Seconds, man. Good quality fish. It's a lot of lakes where you'll have to weed through 10 or 15 short fish to catch good quality fish like this. And again, these are good quality channel catfish for Texas. There's other parts of the country where they may not be. But I've fished with these techniques all over the United States where there's channel catfish and caught them fishing exactly this way, up in this flooded timber, flooded willow trees, just any kind of heavy cover. They're going to be in there. And look at this, look at this. So I said a minute ago that I wasn't going to do this, but let me put this first fish back in the water. So I caught that fish and took it off the hook and laid my rod down right here off the side of the boat, and the bait fell back in the water. There's just a little bit of punch bait on there. And while I was recording that segment, holding that fish, another catfish bit right here with that bait just dangling, and it fishing rod caught on the back of my sandals That's what kept it from flying in the water. That's how thick that these fish are. There's a lot of them all up in here. And this fish has got somebody else's, I think that's a hook. Yep, it sure is. Somebody else's treble hook with a little spring on it there that broke off. So we'll get that out of him there. It'll make for a lot better day. So I'm going to throw this one back here. Bait up again. I don't know how many fish we've caught sitting here. I'm going to say at least 20. I have not moved one bit. I've been casting the bait right in the same exact spot every time. As soon as I get it in the water, 10, 15 seconds or less, I'm catching a catfish. It's big. For some reason, they're very precise in the area that they're biting. I've talked about that some, but it's very, very dependent to getting right in this one little area. Every time I get outside of that, I don't get bit, except for these couple fish that have tried to grab this up underneath the boat. I'm sitting in 1.8 feet of water. I had to trim my trolling motor up and really go slow and slide in here to get to these fish. It took a lot of work. Really, really shallow. There was a couple areas where I got up in less than a foot of water and really had to slow down and be careful. But anywhere from about 5 or 6 foot of water or less is generally what I'll look for. I'm getting bit right now. All right, fish on, baby. There we go. A lot of people are conditioned to throwing a bobber out and waiting for it to go under and stay under. A lot of people wait until it just goes all the way under, and I have a lot of people that fish with me that think, you know, they need that bobber to go under, and then they want to like count, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something. And you don't do that with channel catfish. That's a little bit smaller fish there. Still would keep easily 12 inches, not a problem. But you don't want to do that with channel catfish. Don't wait for that bobber to go under and stay under. The minute it moves, set that hook. And sometimes it won't even go under. Sometimes those bobbers will just twitch a little bit or turn over on their side and kind of go at an angle, and that's fish messing with them. And you want to lay down, drop the hammer, and get that hook set quick.